Hello, besties. Welcome to Martinez with Eddie. I'm, uh, I'm furious tonight, so expect the unexpected. Uh, I'm going to have to make a disclaimer because I know some of you guys are used to like my cookie, a sense of humor, and sometimes I curse, and it's fine. But tonight, I might be cursing more than usual. So be ready for some dragging, be ready for some heavy conversation because we are going to take the trash out tonight, you guys. We got some news in the Bravo universe that if you have been watching Vanderpump Rules since day one, you are probably furious and trying to punch a hole in the wall because you don't understand what is happening. Bravo is in shambles this week, and we ended this week with one of the news that you don't want to hear. This household, this podcast, my account is an Ariana Stan account. This is a place where we support Ariana, and what happened tonight in the news that we got tonight are truly devastating, and I'm sending all my love and all my support and every fiber of my heart all the way to California to Ariana because what happened tonight was completely disgusting. And we are going to talk about it. So I decided to invite friends uh, that are just as passionate as me when it comes down to the Bravo universe. So please, if you are joining us right now, keep this in mind. There's gonna be a lot of cussing, but you are invited to cuss people out on the live chat. I'll be reading your comments. If you're joining us on YouTube, you can go ahead and leave your comments. I'm gonna share them with the world. I'm gonna be reading them live. We're gonna be having a conversation because this topic, oh, is making me so. I had to pour a beer. You guys, I usually drink like a wine and champagne. No, this is so serious that a beer has to make an appearance tonight. So yes, we're gonna get messy tonight too. I'm gonna bring to the stage my friend Caitlin from Besties by Bravo. Hi, Bestie.
Hi. Oh man, we are in the feels tonight, bestie.
Oh, we are in. This is our moment to let all our anger out because
Mm,
just like me, I know you are also an Ariana ride or die for a girl.
absolutely. I have been, well, should we just go ahead and like speak on the exact news? I don't want to take that from you. I'll let you
Wait,
you
we are
are you
here
able to
oh yeah, you can go ahead and start talking.
Oh, I had to take a sip of wine, guys. Friends, besties here. Listen, if you see my social media, you would know that I have been very adamant that I find Raquel to be a mean girl in Bambi-eyed bitches clothing. Period. I could see it. Something about her, it's like, has she been acting this whole time that she is just a sweet, innocent little girl whose voice can't be anything but broken? Who is this? I don't know who she is.
Honestly, like I I had this weird sense that Raquel was not that honest since the moment that she joined the show. There is a sense of playing a role to get to where she wants to be. And obviously, we had seen on this season that she is willing to go to any extent to be the main girl. And let's make one thing clear. Let's say what it is. Raquel, you are not that girl. You will never be that girl. You're not Katie. You are not Ariana. You're not a
Mhm.
Lala. You are barely a I don't even know, a baby bitch who just came to the show and started to mess with every single guy on the
Mhm.
show to get a spot on it. And I mean, the way that she. Let's start from the basic, and then we make our way into the whole mess with Ariana because this is like the big news of the night.
Right.
If we see what she has done this season, she started with Peter, and the way that she talks about Peter is disgusting. When she went and watched what happened live, and she said, Peter is, he's just like a starting point. He's like the person that you go to when you're trying to get a rebound. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You're talking about a human being.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. I Raquel, there's something that is in turning in there. And what she's not getting is that she is not going to be that girl who, like, they call the end girl, right? The final girl in horror films. Raquel,
Yeah.
that's not, baby, that's not you. You don't have the personality to support it. And I'm very sorry if this is harsh, but your personality is just now coming out, right? But at the same time, it's like it you portrayed yourself as this sweet, innocent thing. And I always wonder because I used to do beauty pageants myself. Yes. Yay, go me. And I always wondered how because the type of standards you're held up to when you do pageants are, I mean, I was shocked she was even doing the show, period. I wonder part of it, and this is kind of from the insight of someone who's been involved in those, if she part of why she's acting this way is the pageants are over. She's not doing them anymore. Since she's done her last one, she doesn't have to pretend to be the sweet, precious beauty queen anymore. And we're seeing that she's not. Um, you know, the way she could look in, we saw last episode, look in Katie's face. And now, mind you, I myself have just gone through a divorce, and so I have like a more personal, empathetic stake into it. And I am a Katie fan. I know we're few and far between, but to look in anyone's face who's having that type of emotion and then turn around and go be perfectly fine with making out with her ex-husband, damn girl, like you are cold.
I mean, if you think about it, the moment that you mentioned that Raquel stopped doing beauty pageant, it seems like the only paycheck or the only dream that she has right now is just to be on a reality TV show. Everybody has called her out for being that fan who made her way into the show and is trying real hard to kind of hold on to this title. And if if you think about it, the only storyline she has had since she got on the show is being somebody else's girlfriend.
Yep.
So like she has gone through pretty much every single guy on that show. She literally is running a train at this point on Vanderpump Rule. Like Katie
Same.
said, like yes, I mean the only person that she hasn't gone with is with Brock at this point.
Yeah, because what guys are like, yeah. So she's been through Peter. She's been through obviously James, Tom, Garcelle's son. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not into slut shaming. Now and I know you
Yeah,
aren't either.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
not into that either.
yeah.
What I can say is having lived in Los Angeles for 10 years, there are plenty of other people outside of Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants.
And I mean, and I want to make sure that people know to that listening because we are going hard on Raquel right now. We
Mhm.
are going hard on Raquel right now because she is doing what she's doing on the show, and we
Yeah.
are landing the plane on the Ariana and Tom Sandoval. But don't worry, we are gonna drag the shit out of Sandoval because the man is the one who was in a relationship with Ariana. So he was the one who broke the trust in the first place. So we are not going to ignore that part. We're just talking
No.
about Raquel because Raquel is the topic of conversation on this show and somehow has made her way to destroy the last standing relationship that was supposed to be the most stable relationship on the show.
Now, I want to know your thoughts because I have some friends that are like, Caitlin, there's no way. This is totally just for the show. Tom didn't cheat on Ariana. Well, I know I had been seeing some blinds posted on other Instagram accounts saying that Tom, whenever he's performing, apparently since he thinks he's like this rock star, being with the most extras, that he probably, maybe, allegedly, that's the word I'm looking for, has been unfaithful to Ariana, but no one mentioned Raquel in any of these blinds. Now, I mean, obviously, if TMZ, I tend to believe TMZ. What do you think is
I
going
mean,
on here?
I didn't believe TMZ from the get go. I gotta be honest. I was like, huh. Not because I was thinking they're doing it for the show. I'm just thinking that TMZ is reaching for any type of news, anything to be relevant.
Mm,
And they know the Bravo and Vanderpump Rules right now are very relevant shows.
it's
The
hot.
show is doing great as it is. The cast is doing great. Um, so I kind of put that like, okay, let me do some more research before I
Yeah.
jump in the bandwagon because I was like, I'm not gonna just start hating on people without realizing what's really happening. The moment that I went on Twitter and I tried to find Ariana's tweets and stuff because I've been
Hmm.
following Ariana for a long time,
Yeah.
and this is what I want to share with everybody here on my pod. Ariana was the first Bravo Lab that I had a connection with. Like we started to talk for a very long time. We started to DM about the show when I was tweeting. When my account wasn't Martini with Eddie, the account, it was just Eddie tweeting about random shows on Bravo.
Hmm.
When it was just me on a Wednesday night, just tweeting some random stuff when nobody interacted with my stuff. She will come and interact with me. We will DM, and we created this connection that to the point that I said to her, "I hope that I get to meet you in person, and when that happens, it's going to be so awesome because we have this like really cool vibe going on." And that happened at BravoCon that I was at a rooftop party with all these Bravo Labs, and from across the room, she pointed at me, and I pointed at her. I was like, and I said, "Hey,
No.
Rihanna," and she said, like, "Eddie." There was a connection that was
Yeah.
created from way before Eddie became quote unquote Martinez with Eddie. So this
Yeah.
this became personal. That's why I was like, when I said this disclaimer at the beginning of the show, it's like I'm heated. It's because you just don't her this girl. I know she is a great person. I know she's a fan favorite, and watching knowing that she's truly hurting, it sucks. Like she deactivated her tweets to her Twitter account, and then I went on Instagram, and there she
Hmm.
she was gone too. That's when I started to put one and one together. I was like, the rumors must be true, and she's going through it. And then her best friend Logan posted on a reply to James Kennedy's post. Then Ariana's brother posted, and I said like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is a shit show. It's a circus, and I'm yeah. And this household is an Ariana household, so we are going to write a down for her.
Yeah, yes, we do ride at dawn. I when I first saw the article, I am not even trying to make a joke here. I actually double checked the date because I was like, it's not April 1st. I thought it was fake news. And so like I went, okay, everyone's suddenly posting about this. And it was like within 10 minutes. And I was like, oh my God. No. And so I go to the article. Now people's run an article on it. And I know you and Ariana have talked too, because I remember after we were leaving Charleston, you posted like, hey, what city should we go to next? And Ariana said LA. I'm thinking, I know we've been planning our trip to Charleston in May, but listen, honey, we may need to go to go
LA
to LA.
first.
Yeah, we need hmm I'm
Remember,
thinking.
for those who have been following my Instagram, Caitlin and I got to the opportunity to go to Charleston and hang out with the cast of Soul and Hospitality. It was an amazing weekend. We plan on doing it again in May. And I posted on Instagram because we were talking. We were saying, what's
Hmm.
the next Bravo destination? And we were
Well, we were
between
still
Salt
in
Lake
Charleston.
City. Yeah, well, we were still in Charleston. We were either between Salt Lake City to visit Lisa Barlow
Hmm.
or LA. And as soon as we posted that, like 2 seconds later, I got a message from Ariana saying, LA is the destination. And I was like, there you go, that's the answer. So yes, you guys, it sucks, and we are almost to the point where we're gonna start talking about the news as news. When the news broke up, as we were talking, I didn't right away believe the news. I took the news for what it was, maybe a gossip, a rumor,
Hmm.
and as the day went by, we realized that it was true. The people who went in depth with the news was Page Six, even though the one that somehow broke the news, I will say, was TMZ because that was the first
Hmm.
article that I saw. The one that went into depth was Page Six, and they added they're not just having a little making out fucking once in a while kind of thing. No, based on Page Six, source or whatever, allegedly they have been having a full on affair for months.
No, Eddie, no.
Yes, this is not just like something that started happening last week or whatever. The story in reality developed in a way that that freaking Bambi eye bitch was dating behind the scene Sandoval, and Ariana found out on Wednesday because she's found somebody told her or something along those lines, and she saw Sandoval's phone. And guess what she found in Sandoval's phone allegedly?
What? Tell me.
A video of Raquel touching and doing stuff herself.
Oh my
So,
God. I have goosebumps all over. Oh my God. No wonder you're so fucking mad.
oh, I'm mad. I'm mad.
Oh
Like,
my God, Eddie.
yeah,
No.
that these two people are having a full on blonde affair
You two could
behind.
not find anyone else? There was no one else for you two to go fuck around with?
And
Oh,
Sandoval
sorry.
is,
That was so loud.
and I'm gonna say this, and I'm so embarrassed to admit this. I've been a Tom, you know, ride or die, whatever you want to call it. I used to ride for the Tom for both of them. I always said they were my favorite like bromans on Bravo. They were my favorite guys on Bravo. I was like, if I was to have a threesome with any Bravo les, would be the Toms. Like I had this like attraction to them, and this season, especially tonight, I'm like, fuck the Toms, both of them, especially Sandoval, because on one side I feel bad for Katie and for Schwartz,
No, this is
but
worse. This is worse.
they were separating. They
This is
were, oh,
way worse.
this is way worse.
The
This is trash.
betrayal. The
This is
betrayal.
trash. How can you have an affair with this girl behind the person that has been supporting your trash music career behind the scenes, being there for you, picking your garbage clothing to wear on stage? Like, calm the fuck up.
Custom made garbage clothing, Eddie. Jeez.
From ASOS, please. I seen that clothing on ASOS.
Oh, did you? Oh my God. Eddie, I think, you know what? Hmm. I think we should absolutely make LA our destination, and then we need to like make t-shirts or something. I did not know that.
Oh,
Oh.
is that serious?
See, here's the thing.
Um,
Ariana has been so authentic and genuine from the second she's been on that show. And that's part of her appeal is like what she already is whip smart. I mean, she was in Mensa, like as
yeah.
a kid. Like, I mean, she's whip smart. She's funny. She's quick. She's got all of it. Yes, she's had some like silly one liners where it was like, I take improv very seriously. Like, yes, that was hilarious and ridiculous. But at the same time, oh my God, I am like, I'm spiraling. I'm spiraling. I'm not okay.
No.
Why is my wine glass so small?
No, and based on the page 6 article, once again, like I mentioned before, there was some videos and stuff, but let me read verbatim what it says. It says, a source tells page 6 the Vanderpump Rules co-stars have been communicating inappropriately for months, quote unquote. That means sexting and all this stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And that Raquel 28 and Sandoval 39 now want to be together.
No.
Yes, like they want to be an official couple. And that's why this is like a whole hot mess. And let me tell you guys, it's 7:30 on the East Coast. As an hour ago, there were production trucks and cameras of Tom Sandoval's and Ariana's house. So most likely we're gonna have a, I guess, an after finale video, just like they did with Jen Shaw when she went to New York and
But
they,
this will be worth it and
oh,
much. Ariana, kick his ass. Oh my God. Kick his. Oh
you
God.
burn the
I,
whole house down, girl. Burn the house down on your way out. Leave him
take the
living on the
dogs and
streets.
set his hair on fire. There's a lot of hairspray in there. It would be very easy. We're not violent, just
I
mildly.
hope she gets the house, and Sandoval goes to live in freaking Bambi I bitch little apartment. So he
I,
freaking
Yeah, get your ass right back to one of those little apartments that you started out in, Tom Sandoval. I I am so glad Ariana did not cave and have a child with him. I am so glad. But then, oh, I'm sure Raquel will be glad to do that for him. I am furious. No wonder you were so mad. I knew you would
Oh
have
yeah,
more tea than I had. That's why I was like, okay, I absolutely have to hop on here because I cannot not. Y'all,
it's
this news is bigger than the Jen. We were just saying like before we came on here. This news is bigger than the Jen Shaw shit. That fuck Jen Shaw. This okay. I'm still recovering a little bit from you telling me they want to fucking be together.
they want to be together. That's the thing. I honestly feel like if you want to be in a relationship with somebody else. This is the problem, you guys. I know a lot of people are probably saying, yeah, but didn't they have like a relationship was like open or whatever? Ariana on the trailer said that she wasn't on an open relationship, so we respect that. On the other hand, even if they had, there still can be cheating when you have an open relationship. Let's make
That's
that
true.
clear, because
You have rules.
rules and boundaries,
Yes.
and it's okay for each marriage or relationship to have their own rules. We gotta respect that.
Yes.
But the moment that you break those rules and go behind somebody else's back to start a whole ass relationship with somebody else, get the fuck out of here. I
Oh my
really
god.
hope that Ariana is grabbing that garbage clothing and set it on fire.
I completely forgot that Ariana tweeted that right before the season started. That I am not in an open relationship and she was like laughing at it and I thought, of course, like no, don't come after the one good like legitimate relationship on the show and I was very like kind of defensive of it. Maybe not on my podcast myself, but like I when I would talk to other people about it. Oh my god. I completely forgot and I wonder if
I
now she's
wanna
like,
I
what the
wanna
hell?
read this because this is interesting. We're talking about the house. I think it's a good point. I wonder if Tom had second mortgage the house for the restaurant money, if it's gonna be a little messy if he did. I think it's true. I think also, let me say one thing. The only reason people can digest goddamn Sandoval's horrible, trashy event and clothing and attitude is because he had a likable woman next to him. The only reason why somehow he became likable on the show was because Ariana made him likable. Not that many
Yeah.
people like Sandoval. Not that many people
No.
are looking at him saying, "Oh, we're gonna feel bad for him if now that they're separated." No, people are saying, "I feel bad for Ariana because she was the good person on
Mhm.
this whole relationship. She was freaking Bambi I bitch friend this
She
whole entire
was
time. She was
for
a
a
friend of her.
while.
Yes, from the moment she got on the show, Ariana was one of the first ones to open her arms and show her what is to be a reality TV star, what it is to join the show. She
Mhm.
was there for her when Tom was planning their engagements. Then she was defending her to other people because they were saying that they were like rushing this engagement and stuff like that. She was the one openly saying they're fine. I like Raquel. It's a good relationship. And then she was even defending Raquel the moment that they decided to break that engagement. She was on her side.
Yeah, well, yes, and you do remember like James and Tom Sandoval are very good friends. Tom Sandoval felt so betrayed by James when he started dating Kristen Doty. Remember that? So
Yes.
now, what did you need to implement your own version of karma, Sandoval? Plus, Sandoval, you look like somebody's like aunt who used to be rich and she lost all her money betting on horses and bought a horse, and that is her new little buddy, and she won't leave the horse alone. That is what you look like, Sandoval. And I saw someone, I can't take credit for this, but I can't get it out of my head. Someone said you look like you smell like hot dog water. You kind of do.
Oh my gosh. It's honestly I just digested this whole news today has been quite the process, especially because there's nothing worse than going through a very public divorce, a very public separation, especially when the person who your partner is betraying you with is somebody who was close to you. Like, it's
Oh,
so low. And I had said it before many times. Do I believe that they had the like a perfect relationship? No, I
no.
never felt like they had that
Who
perfect
does though?
relationship. Nobody does.
Exactly.
But I always felt like they complemented each other. Like they had this
Yes.
chemistry going on that none of the other couples in that show, that no other that those couples on Vanderpump Rules had. Not Katie and Swartz never had chemistry. From the
Not
moment that
like
they
that,
got
no.
married, I knew that they were gonna end it. It was like this is going nowhere. Then we have Lala and Randall, whatever his name is. We were like, yeah, no, this is not gonna happen. Um, Raquel and James kind of make sense, but at the same time, they were like oil and water when they were they fight. So there was something about Sandoval and Ariana that
Yes,
made sense.
because Ariana, like the things that a lot of us, um, a lot of us women, even like being someone who has dated actors, married an actor, all of it, there are certain things that you accept that men will do, like they have to put on makeup for something or whatever. Sandoval was like overly eccentric with some of it, and fine, he pushed barely, barely lightly pushed a few gender norms. Fine, good for you. But Ariana fully accepted him for who he was, would just back him on everything, just like you were saying. And so now for this to be the case, I'm still like, do you think they're playing a joke on? I hope they're. Please be playing a joke on us.
Uh,
I can't. I
I can't wait
can't.
for this reunion. I can't wait for this reunion. I literally want to fast forward this season already, and I just want to go to the reunion. It's so funny how so many shows on Bravo for the past few months, like almost every show, you just want to fast forward to the reunion because the news coming out on social media as this
Exactly.
season is going are crazier than the actual show.
It has changed the game on it. It really has. And I've said that before, that social media has completely taken us from it being like the way we watch scripted television is, you don't have to worry about spoilers. No one's going to spoil it. But I mean, when it's reality, if it is real, then yeah, stuff's going to happen. And there's
Yeah,
nothing we can do to like, stop it. And listen, I'm appreciative of it. But at the same time, I'm like, what?
I know.
I don't know if I'm sure you saw that Kristen Doty even was saying something like people were messaging her saying, "Oh, I bet you're so excited and so happy to see that this happened because of the, kind of way it played out with the beginning of Ariana and Sandoval's relationship, where we know technically, I say technically because Kristen ended up banging Jax, we found out. So it's like it kind of canceled out any quote unquote makeout session that happened between Ariana and Tom Sandoval in a pool in Vegas while they were together. Still not okay, but it is what it is. And so what I would say is that then Kristen was saying like, I'm not happy about it. I am friends with Ariana. I'm team Ariana 365 8 days a week. And she did put in like little text at the bottom of this Instagram story like, Raquel, karma is coming for you. I think you should just go home. And honestly, I literally texted that. I can't remember if it was in our group chat or another group chat. I've been like going at it all day with everyone ever since it
Uh,
came out. And the group chat that I was in, I was saying, like, I think Raquel just needs to go home. She just needs to go home. That's what it comes down to. So I listen, I don't know. We're gonna have to I don't know.
I'm I I'm just hoping that the reunion it's what I expected it to be. Obviously, they're gonna have to talk about their issues during the season, but at this point, we know that pretty much everybody's gonna be against Tom Sandoval
Oh,
and Raquel
it's gonna be so
because
bad.
you know that Lala's gonna drag her ass all the way to the moon. You know that James Kennedy is not going to take this whole mess anymore. Even Sheena, who was Raquel kind of like body, she went on Instagram today and said, I'm Team Ariana all the way. So you know that she is already on the outs with Raquel. She unfollowed her on Instagram too. So the mess that's happening outside the show is crazy. And the fact that they're still filming, like I said before, like I said earlier, they have camera crews at their house right now. So we are definitely going to see that play out on the show.
Do you know how much it kills me that I don't live in Valley Village anymore? Because I lived in the same building that Katie is living in. I lived around the corner from all of them. Do you know my ass? I am not shameless, but at this point I would have been like, I don't know, TMZ over there trying to see what was going. I would have been. I would have been at this point, kind of. I respect people's privacy, okay, but still. But did you see? Okay, Lala completely slashed the cost of the Bambi Eye bitch palette. And she was like, everything must go. She tagged Raquel in her Instagram story and was like, I'm coming for you, bitch. First of all, I would be really scared if Lala was coming for me. I not.
I
I would
I
not.
I
Do you
just
think Raquel's going to show up to the reunion? I feel
that's
like
what
she's not going to show.
I mean, honestly, I
I
if
wouldn't.
she's doing this for the sake of the show, for her to stay on the show, she's gonna show
Mm.
up and do the most of the most and not care and kind of like own up to her new villain position. And it's so embarrassing because I out of all the people on that show, I was never expecting the quiet one to be the one that wrecked somebody's home. And I hate the Sandoval, that freaking lizard looking person with that porn stash that he think he's looking like some kind of like rock star. He looks more like a homeless person. I'm just disgusted. I feel horrible for what's happening, and to see, to know that Ariana is probably not in a great place right now. She's probably really upset, going through it, and after many years of her dealing with uh, Tom Sandoval, and like I said it before, Sandoval was likable because Ariana made him likable. Not because he was likable like from the start, because he was very unlikable on season 1 and 2. And then he
Yeah.
started dating Ariana, and somehow he became more like, okay, I can digest him now, and became a little more interesting. Like I said it, I'm so embarrassed that I even said at the end of the year last year that Tom and Tom were my pick of the sexiest guys on Bravo. I'm so embarrassed, and I apologize to those that I said this.
Eddie's turning red. Listen, my friend Caroline is even saying to me, "Yeah, come to LA because we need to go to LA. We need to ride we ride for Ariana, and I think we should just like go to Tom Tom or you know what? Let's go to Schwartz and Sandy's and just be like, oh my god, are you guys open yet? Oh, you're open, cool. And I just wear like maybe like some t-shirts that are just like Ariana's face.
Oh God.
I think we should. I mean, I would
Oh my
totally do it.
gosh.
Uh, yeah, just sit and just hi. Oh my god, is Sandoval here? Is Sandoval's here, isn't he? Tell him we said hi. Hi.
Oh
Hi.
my gosh. No, I'm excited for this reunion, because if it was a time for Vanderpump Rules to be messy, guys, they got it. They got the time to be messy. I mean, we have the Katie divorce with Swords. We have Lala with Randall's, divorce, that it was really disgusting and messy, as we all know. A piece of trash too. Is it like a theme? That's what we're finding out about this Bravo man, that they're all trash, because we have
Yes.
Lenny in Miami, fucking piece of garbage. We have
Shep.
what?
Shep.
Oh,
Austin.
and I don't want to talk about Southern Charm, because I've been watching Southern Charm from the beginning, because I'm bored with my life. I'm so sad with my life that I've been watching uh, Southern Charm from season 1, and I'm on season 5 right now, just because I'm bored. And every time that I watch, I'm like, how the hell these guys got on this show for so in a state for so long? They're trash. But we will talk about Southern Charm when Southern Charm starts. The only people who are great on that show are the ladies. That's a
Yes.
show where women are definitely the role models and like the one that pushing the narrative because the guys are trash.
I feel like that's
Um,
happening on VPR now too.
and now we go to VPR where I always thought that they had some kind of sense of like, okay, they're young and they're messy, but now they're like in a more adult, they're more adult, they have their life together. No, now they act even worse than when they were in their 20s. Now we have Sandoval having a fucking midlife crisis, dating a much younger girl who obviously just wants a spot on the show because she is a fan of the show. Like, what is not clicking in his
Because
head?
how did she and James meet is what I would like to know. Was it a Jackson Brittany type of meeting? Because Brittany was clearly a fan of the show. And that's how she got on and she got pulled into it and Brittany just didn't know how to do a hand. It was so much for her, right? And so like of course I don't know. James is like the Jax of the show, isn't he? He is now, huh? Oh my god. Ew.
It's
Um
trash, 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 and and another trash role from Atlanta trying to divorce Drew when he was trash. I've been calling that man toxic for a long time, and the fact that he had the audacity to try to divorce her first. Luckily, she was smart enough to divorce his ass an hour earlier so she can have the last laugh on this shit. Good for her.
Good for her. If that's what's important to you, then yes, good for you. Ralph, God, don't even get me started on that. Because I know Drew was not always on the right side of things. And it's Drew. But something about her I find so endearing. And I'm like, I just can't help but want to like her. And I don't know. I know she has her own issues. But yes, that was wild as hell that like oh yeah, she got it in 61 minutes before
I
the
know.
filing in. I was like
I like
and
she
then
probably.
and Juan Dixon was earlier this week too at the laundromat with his assistant coach apparently being cuddly or something. I don't know, we haven't gotten like the full footage to prove it,
I
but
mean, when it comes down to Juan,
he
I'm
is
not even
trash. We already know.
talking about the fact that he was allegedly canoodling with a what's it called, a
Assistant coach.
coworker.
Mhm.
I think he's trash because he was part of ruining a guy's career because he kept his mouth quiet when when he was trying to do the right thing. I don't know if you know, there was an investigation because some guy catfished a one of his
Yes.
players, and the guy went to him to try to like get him to you know help him to investigate the case and let him know what's happening, and he kept his mouth shut. So for that reason I was like, this guy is trash, he needs to go. And the fact that freaking Robin defended this man to the point that she couldn't even like admit to the camera that he was a cheater.
Mhm.
um
No,
I,
she
I
admitted on Patreon.
oh yeah, pay whatever dollars, and I tell you my truth. Like, I like that shit pissed me the fuck off
Yeah.
because you have fans out here, and I'm not saying make your coins, girl, make your coins. That's completely
Right.
fine. Grab your bag, have your life, but do not use this just because I believe that you sign a contract to work in a reality TV show, to be part of a show, to be open to the world, to be open to your fans, to talk about the heavy topics. And when you are constantly pushing the other housewives to be open and what's not,
Exactly.
and then you hide yourself and you wait until the end of the season, you go on the reunion, you lie to the world, then for a week later to somehow say, I knew the truth for a very long time. And if you want my truth, you have to
Pay.
pay.
Mhm.
I'm like, no, girl, I'm not paying your goddamn thing because I think that's fucking stupid.
Well, the thing is too, like Robin has been so over the top about how she expects just kind of like who was saying that at the reunion? Oh my god. I'm forgetting who said that at the reunion. How, you know, she really expects everyone to be so transparent and so open about every single thing in their lives, and she is there maligning families. And that's the thing, is it's like, what the hell? Like, you don't get to go off on everyone else saying, oh, you have to speak on this and that, and then you go on the reunion saying you have to put all your stuff on the show. I even made a TikTok about it because I was like, are you out of your fucking mind, Robin? What, on what planet are you on? Because you say on your Reasonably Shady podcast, oh, well, I think we should leave that for the Patreon. Ma'am, you are not getting paid well enough for your time here on Potomac. Your husband has a job. What the hell? What's going on?
Yeah. It's just infuriating. This whole entire week, it was truly the the moment where every single Bravo franchise showed their ass, especially the men on the shows. Bravo is on shambles. I'm so disappointed on Sandoval. I'm pissed off that I even once said that he was my Bravo crush. I'm like upset with myself. This is embarrassing. You know
Eddie, you
that.
can do better than Sandoval.
I mean, you know that I have other crushes on the Bravo world.
I mean, yeah, but like, Jesus. I
No, but
listen, I like, at the end of the day, this is what's like really a hook in my craw, is that Jax and Brittany are the lasting relationship.
oh god,
How? How?
Jax. It's because they're both
How are Jax
messy.
and Brittany?
So I gonna bring up to the stage somebody that I love and adore, and we went together to Charleston. We also were there together, and I want to introduce my friend Lauren. Hi, bestie.
Hey, 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 what's up?
How you
Hi,
doing?
Lauren.
Can you hear my is there like a double audio going on right now?
Not on my side, but maybe because you don't have headphones, you might hear it twice.
Yeah.
Do you have headphones?
Yes. Should I grab my headphones?
Yes. Go. Oh, look at
Look
you.
at
You
her in
just
her
go around with
store.
your.
Hi, I love you guys.
We miss you.
Yes.
We were
Yes.
saying, I cannot wait to go to Charleston in May once again. We need to make that happen ASAP so we can start planning. Um, we need to start planning our trip to California next. I'm just saying that I want to go to Charleston first because I have unfinished businesses to take care of in Charleston.
Oh my God. I'm listening. I was watching your guys' episode and I was like, is this the cheaters episode? I feel like they could do a whole episode of like the show Tweeters with the Real Housewives.
Honestly, it's been quite. I mean, we've been talking. I mean, for guys, if you guys are listening right now, and people who are watching, Caitlin, Lauren, and I have our own group chat on our phones that we text in a group chat, and we were talking about this whole Sandoval and Raquel mess, and I invited Lauren to come on here. I invited Caitlin because we need to get our feelings out because we are definitely dealing with some heavy ass topic. I mean, I mentioned it before. uh, I'm not putting all the blame on Raquel, but obviously I do believe that Raquel has showcased, you know, s- social climbing tendencies for that matter for the show, and she is not. I mean, she is not stopping at anything to stay on the show. But then you have Sandoval, who's a piece of trash for her in Ariana. He's trash. Uh, God, I'm Bambi eye bitch. I can't. Both of them. I posted on my Twitter. Both of them are on my shit list forever. And I have a I for those who don't know, I do have a shit list of Bravo Labs.
Who
Ones that
was
I don't
on
want.
it?
I don't want to reveal that. I just said NBA bitch and the mediocre rock star wannabe, they both got on my shit list tonight.
I know, and I
Yeah.
hope people go after Tom because, like, I wanted to be Team Raquel. Like, I even stuck up for her the other day. I was like, you know what, though? She's going through a hard time. And Katie did say she was over the other Tom. And now I'm like, oh, no. Oh,
Excuse me,
hell
what
no,
hard time is
Raquel.
Raquel going through? She quit. I have been through every hard time Raquel is going through. Yes, I aged out of beauty pageants as well. Oh, God forbid we reach the age of 27. Yeah, it happens. Guess what? You also can't have ever had a child. You can't have ever been married. She's I feel zero amount of sorry for her. Yes, there is like a part of you that's like, oh, this is weird that like this thing I've been trying to achieve my whole, I don't know, adult life. Get the fuck over yourself, Raquel. It is not that. No, it's true. I've gone through it. I competed in the same system she did, and it's like, girl, get over yourself. It is not so devastating that you go fuck around with one of your friends. Like he's practically common law husband. I don't even know if common law is a thing in California, but I'm really hoping it is for Ariana's sake because they would absolutely have a common law marriage. And Raquel can go fuck herself because she needs to literally get her shit together. I don't like the idea of bullying, and that's a big thing that I have a hard. Yeah. What I am going to say is Raquel, bitch, you didn't even get fucking married. You got engaged. Okay. You didn't even go through the legal proceedings. You didn't have a child. You didn't do any of it. Get over yourself. You're still in your fucking 20s. You have plenty of time. You're still virginal in the eyes of men who are in their 30s. Okay, now I went off. So apparently, yes, common
I
law is a thing in California. I did have it. My friend Carolina just let me know that. Hi, Carolina. I see you, bitch.
So I know, I can't remember either. How did James and Raquel meet?
they
That's
met. Wasn't it like they were introduced a party? If you guys, I'm trying to remember.
Let me
So
Google.
for
Let me
those who
Google.
are, I know the people who are watching right now might remember the details. I completely forgot because that was such a long time ago. And this is
Right? I know.
guys,
She was a
the
fangirl, though, right?
yes, she was a
Yep.
it's a chatter. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think they met
Oh,
just
okay.
randomly.
So according to
Is
Us
Chatter an
Weekly, they
app?
met. They met during a New Year's Eve party celebrating the arrival of 2016.
Yes, I knew it was just a
Oh.
random
And
party.
tell me Raquel didn't know exactly who DJ James Kennedy was. Get out of
She
here, Raquel.
admitted she admitted she was a fan of the show. She always had said that I've been a fan of the show for a very long time. So she had a plan,
This is
and good
so
for her,
embarrassing for her.
and good for her. I mean,
You
I'm
and I
like,
had
if
totally
I
different.
mean,
I
she
mean,
secured her spot, I guess, for next season.
she
Maybe.
secured a lot of stuff. And
In-
what I'm saying is like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind people doing what needs to be done to get on a reality TV show, whatever. If that's what you want to do, good for you.
Right.
But there is a limit. Ariana was off limits.
Yes. Ariana was
Ariana
so
was
nice to
off
her, like all
limits.
The
season
Sandoval
thus far.
Ariana thing, yes, that the only couple to still be on the show from almost the beginning, almost. I mean, we knew like Sheena and Shay, which she's never going to change her last name because she loves the sound of Sheena Shay, I'm sure. But like, that's the closest we had to the beginning. It's not like this is ridiculous. I'm appalled. That's what I am.
And
I'm
like,
appalled.
and I will understand if they both were looking for different things in life, but Ariana and Tom Sandoval seem to be the type of people who were actually in a relationship with the same goals. They both didn't want to have kids that much. They talk about it, but they
I
push
think
back and
Tom did.
forth. He
He
wanted at one
pretended he
point,
did.
but exactly. He's
There
not the
Right?
there was
type
a
of guy.
line that said he pretended that he wanted that and he
Yeah.
actually didn't. And I can't. So Lauren, you were watching and Eddie blew my mother effing mind with the page 6 news about all of this. Were you watching that? That
Where like it's been happening for months and Raquel was like
Yes.
texting him. Yeah. I'm
Yes.
like, what?
Mind
Was this
blown.
happening at BravoCon?
defend the
Wait a
bandy eyed
minute.
bitch now.
Wait a minute. she kept posting stuff from BravoCon with the Toms and stuff like that. I remember
In the
that.
That
sweatshirts.
she wore the Tom Tom sweatshirt, and everyone thought it was
Yes.
because of Sandoval. But I wonder if it was
But it
actually because,
wasn't.
or because of Swartz, but it wasn't because of Sandoval. And I
Wait a
didn't really
minute.
see Ariana and Tom together that
I
much.
I
Oh my God.
remember
And
when
you
we were.
guys, at the Watch What Happens Live on Wednesday. Oh my God. I'm
She
reading
gave
everything
Andy the
now.
sweatshirt.
No, no, but that, yeah. And she says when Andy's
When
like, oh,
Andy asked
James
him, yeah,
Kennedy
asked
says
her.
you don't give blowjobs. And Raquel looks like right into the camera and she goes, I don't give blowjobs to James Kennedy. Who, my mind was like, well, who are you giving them to?
No, and listen to this. She was asked on
Sheena
Watch What Happened
knows.
Live. No, I
I know,
think Sheena.
but Sheena stopped following her. So did she know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know. I
No,
want to know.
I was gonna say is that on Watch What Happened Live, Andy asked Raquel who she thought was the hottest guy, or whatever. She said
Yeah.
Sandoval.
Yeah, and so did Sheena. And then Sheena looked a little surprised at that minute that
Yeah.
Raquel said Sandoval. But because I was like,
So
did Sheena know? But then that
I'm
kind of made me think she didn't, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think she knew though. I think maybe I'm starting to believe that Sheena Shea was trying to get Schwartz um with the Bambi bitch. I do believe that
Because, but
because
do you think it's
I don't think she was trying to get with Katie
to
like what?
prevent?
No. No. I just think she really wanted that to happen, and based on what I'm seeing now, based on what I see online, based on what I'm seeing on the blinds and all the stuff, it's starting to make sense to me that maybe Swords and Raquel were just a cover up for what Raquel was doing. It seems to me like the one that was involved in this whole entire mess was not necessarily Sheena, but Tom Swords.
Yes,
That's
because
what
I
I'm
feel like
saying.
that Swartz was maybe already dating this Joe girl, but it was like
Yes.
part of the cover up. So that's why he tried to be like, oh, no, no, we wouldn't hook up. But
Well,
maybe
that's
he
why
was
I
just trying
think,
to,
yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah,
yeah,
but
I
well,
don't know. Maybe he
that's
was
why
trying to cover up for Schwartz. Like, I wonder how long Sanderveld knew this. He had to have known.
you mean
I'm,
how
I'm
long Schwartz knew about this
Or Schwartz.
with
I'm getting them
Sandoval?
confused.
Yeah,
The two Toms.
yeah.
I feel
So
like Schwartz knew that Sanderveld and Raquel were hooking up.
Yeah, I'm have a
that's what I'm
feeling
kind
that
of
that's what's
wondering.
happening. Yeah, I have a feeling that that's what happened, and that's why a lot of the times this whole tour rumors didn't make much sense until later. Like people were like, "Oh yeah, they were making out," but the Swords rumors started at Coachella, so I'm starting to
Mhm.
believe that maybe
Was it
Sandoval
Sandoval
and Raquel.
Sandoval?
was. Yeah, I don't know.
She
This
post
is
Raquel posted a photo of the two of them together from Coachella and said like I'm on my island.
yes.
That's the photo that's like resurfacing. And then like all these haters are going after it now too. Like commenting on that photo and being like, it was this Tom that she was making out with.
Yeah,
Was
with.
Ariana
Oh
at
my
Coachella
God.
with them?
I think she was.
I know we can't look at her Instagram to see.
I know. I'm telling
Can
you,
we look at
I'm
Sandoval's?
I'm like so heartbroken right now for
I
Ariana. It's
know, me too.
like out of all like I was telling before the story how why this is so personal. Like before my account became Martinez with Eddie. It was just Eddie tweeting random shit about Bravo show where nobody interacted with my account. Ariana was the first Bravo lab to actually pay attention to my tweets. We started chatting. We started DMing, and we would say like, "I hope we meet one day." Whatever. I had to go to California, whatever. And then BravoCon happened, and we met at the rooftop party that we were at.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
I remember how like literally we like look at each other, we pointed at each other from across the room. It was like I feel like this like sense of like gratitude because when nobody was interacting with my account or with me, because at that point I was in a Bravo account, quote unquote. It was just me talking nonsense. She was the first person who actually was nice to me, and when we sat down, you were there when we sat down with her for like a good like 2 hours talking about random stuff. Sandoval kept coming in and out, and I remember I think when he first came to say hi, I had a sense that he thought that I was hitting on her,
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there for a long time, and he kind of came to check what was happening, and I was like, "No, dude, I'm like gay as fuck."
Yes, because she was with Logan, her friend
Yes, she was.
Logan. Yes.
Yeah,
And she was like, yeah, Ariana's just so nice too. Like, I feel like, and I met her at BravoCon in 2019. She was just like the most real. Like, just talk to everyone like they're her peer. It doesn't matter that she's on this show or not. And I feel like that's when I like, I mean, I always liked her, but that's when I like started loving her more because you never knew because I used to like Stassi, even though like Stassi's, kind of a bitch too. But I was always like, whose side are we on, Ariana or Stassi's? And then after meeting Ariana, I was like, oh yeah, Team Ariana for sure.
yeah.
Um,
And BravoCon definitely changed the image. I mean, obviously, Ariana reinforced the image that I had about her, like made me even love her even more. Uh, but even other Bravo lips, like I felt like that weekend, especially that party, changed the image of people that I thought were gonna act differently. Like Candace, I went into that party like a little afraid, but then we were talking, and I was like, no, because we had that image of Candace being the villain of Potomac before that. And when I met her, I knew that she wasn't that person. So I'm happy that I started watching this new season with the new image in my head because it reinforced it. Like this season, we know that Candy was not the villain that they were trying to paint her in the past. So
well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you know. One of my friend Carolina just sent me something.
Oh
TMZ
God.
just posted that Tom was seen packing his bags and leaving their house.
Well,
good,
Understandable.
good.
good. And
You're
I,
Yep.
like,
I wish.
good. Bye.
I wish the headline was Ariana was seen burning the shit out of Tom
Yeah.
Sandoval's clothing in the front yard where it's
Oh my
dessert to
Yes.
be for the world to see.
OMG.
Yeah, so he's
Good.
at good. I'm glad she's keeping the house. She should, and he should pay for it,
Yes.
in my
Yes.
opinion. Friends, I
Do
do
you do
have
you
to
guys
hop
do you
off.
guys watch
I'm gonna leave you
Miami by
to.
any chance? Do you guys have
I
watched
I
haven't
am
seen the
Miami?
not
most recent episode.
I am
Because
not caught up.
I wanted to like talk a little bit about Miami before like we close the episode. I mean, I don't want to spoil it if you guys haven't watched it, but it's a fun finale. I just want to make sure that people know. Uh, I watched it. I was gonna recap it, but uh, I'm not gonna do that right now because I don't want to spoil you guys. But watch it. The ending of the show, it's just amazing. It's a great way to end it. And there's a last scene between Lenny and Lisa over the phone. Epic, epic, epic
Oh
ending.
God. I can't wait to watch it. And I saw Nicole and Gertie say that like Adriana brings tea at the reunion.
I know. Have you guys watched the reunion trailer?
No.
Not
Was it
Oof,
yet.
out?
The
oof.
the news today has been too
I know,
intense.
right? I'm only on Vanderpump. It's all
Like,
everything on Instagram.
I know. And like talking about Vanderpump, you guys watched the episode
yes.
on
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday night, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about the episode? I'm enjoying this season of Vanderpump Rules. I think they got their mojo back after last
Yeah,
season. I
I
mean,
feel like
Yeah.
we knew that from the trailer. And then, like, honestly, as sad as this is about Tom and Ariana, it's like bringing more fuel to the fire. So I feel like
yes.
anyone that hasn't been watching the season so far, like the last few episodes, they're gonna like probably watch it now.
Yeah, and I mean, I always said this before. Vanderpump Rules is my favorite show on Bravo. Like there
Not
is
Southern Hospitality.
it is Southern Hospitality, obviously. But what I'm saying
They're
is like
friends.
Vanderpump Rules was the first non-Bravo show, I mean non-housewife show that I really kind of like fell in love with. Because I used to watch Project Runway. I've been a Bravo fan for a long time, but there is something about Vanderpump Rules in season one that I just love. I identify with it. I kind of see myself in the show too. I think maybe that's why I liked it so much because when it first came out, I mean, our age range, what was their age range too?
Yeah.
Like,
True.
so it feels like we grew up with them. So I like that about that show. So I know last season a lot of people were giving a shit because it was weird the way that it was filmed. I'm like, yeah, it was during COVID. Like what you were expecting. The only time that the way they did something was like when they were hanging out each other's backyards, and it felt so contrived
Mm.
compared to previous season when they were going to the restaurant where they were doing all the stuff. So yeah, but I think they're getting their mojo back. Caitlin, before you go, I know you have to leave
I want y'all to
soon.
keep talking. I'm so sorry.
Do you
We'll
wanna
miss
say
you.
anything before you leave for their
Fuck that
listeners?
Bambi-eyed bitch and fuck Tam Sandoval. This better be a joke that I am not in on. So, thank you for having me. I love you both. I will probably be texting with you later tonight. So,
Yes.
Yes.
anyhow,
We
bye,
have
friends. Love you.
a
Thanks for
trip
having me.
to. Bye.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
So Lauren, before we go, because we're gonna wrap it up in a couple of minutes, just because, uh, yeah, we be here for an hour, and I don't want
We could
people
talk
to
about
like.
it all night, but
Yes, me and you
it'll
can.
just go in circles.
But yeah, I'm just shocked for the fourth wall breakage that we got on the episode where Stuart looked into the camera and said, "Are we still
Mhm.
filming?" And he got caught
Mhm.
while holding Raquel's hand. I'm like, "Holy crap! That was so shocking. I was not expecting it." And I feel like in that moment he realized that he was fucked.
I know, I think so too. Like, but I mean, he didn't really do anything too bad. I feel like that's when you wanted, like, yeah, I wanted to be like, oh, me, Raquel was just listening to Sheena and Tom's single and Katie's moved on. But then I'm just all like, now you're just being thirsty.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she just wants the attention and she knew they were filming. He didn't. Of course, she wanted it on camera. And then she brought it up
Yes.
to Katie at the dinner too and said,
That's
like, that
right.
she asked, yeah.
It's
So
just like it just feels like she had a plan. I mean, she definitely is trying to drag the story as much as she can. I mean, she brought it up to Katie on the at the dinner. She's trying to make a move at the concert. She keeps talking about all this stuff. And like honestly, when it comes down to the Katie and Raquel, I feel bad for Katie because I know it's a fresh breakup and it's really hard to see somebody moving on so quickly, or somebody who's close to you try to make a move on that person. But at the same time, they are trying to form their own lives separately too. So she cannot expect Tom not to date. That whatever. It kind of sucks that it's somebody that he hook up with somebody who was close to the group. And I always kind of look side eye with the intention because I'm not sure if she's actually doing it because she's into Swerve
yeah,
or
right.
because she's into the storyline.
I kind of was thinking it was more of a storyline thing because she went from being like a no one on the show, like James' girlfriend who barely spoke, to now she's like, oh, I'm going to earn my paycheck. Because clearly she saw like James wasn't paying her rent anymore. She was like, oh, this is the first time I've had to pay my rent. And she had to go back and work at Sir. So I think she's like, oh, I'm going to get my, like, for sure, I'm going to be renewed next season. So that's why then this Sandoval thing came out and I'm just like shook because I'm like, I kind of thought the Schwartz thing was like a storyline. And I mean, he is cute. Like, why not make out with him? She even said, like, I don't want to date him. I don't want him to be my boyfriend, but like maybe just have a little fun with him. Like, why not?
Yeah, I
But they're
agree.
both single, even though, yeah, it was shady to Katie. But I mean, Raquel and Katie never really were friends. So, I mean, it was shady, but I was kind of like, okay, I can see maybe what she's doing. But Ariana was there for her, like, even was like, oh, is this going to be the first time that I'm mad at Raquel when she was saying that she asked Tom to like make out? And like, I feel like Ariana's like understood it was hard for Raquel with the breakup with her and James. And then she does this. I'm just all like, I could understand maybe the Katie thing because maybe her and Katie never were friends. But I was like, Ariana's been your friend so far this season.
I
And
agree.
they've hung out outside the show. Like I've seen like photos with them together, like at Schwartz and Sandy's and at Tom Tom. So now I'm all like, oh my God, they were all together like in a group of the four of them. Meanwhile, Raquel and Sandoval
We're
are
having a
sleeping together.
thing.
Yeah.
And
I'd be
disgusting.
so betrayed.
And that's why I'm so heated, and that's why I'm so pissed off because it's the cheating part, it's the betrayal part. Like they were doing the thing or like hooking up and like doing all this sexting situation was she was hanging out with them, like like
Yeah. Like
Adriana
lying.
was right there.
That's
Can
wild.
you
Like, yeah, that's
imagine?
why I wanted to be like with the Tom thing. I was like, okay, well, they were both single. Like, yes, Raquel's being messy, but she's not really doing anything like horrible. But now I'm all like, no, she like literally knew like Ariana and Tom have been together for like 10 years, or I don't know how long it's been, but I'm like, you're hanging out in a group situation with them. Like, I'm just like, how long has this been happening? I can't wait for all this info to come out to be like, was it happening at BravoCon? Was it happening when they were filming? And the Swartz thing was just like a cover up. Like, what's going on?
I know it's
And I
truly
feel so
like
bad for Ariana because I feel like what we were saying, like her and Tom, because when I went to Tom's show, like Tom and the Most Extras in Chicago, I even said to my friend Carrie, who was at BravoCon, I was like, do you think Ariana and Tom are still together? Because it's weird she's not here. And then I think like New Year's Eve was the next day. So I was like, are they flying back to California for New Year's Eve? I don't know. I just was kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if we find out they like broke up after the season or maybe before the reunion. Because I'm like, they've always had like an interesting relationship or interesting dynamic, but it's worked for them. So, I mean, I wasn't that shocked at BravoCon when they weren't like all over each other because that's never been like their
their
relationship.
thing. Yeah.
But now I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, and with Raquel, out of all the people, God damn it,
Like
Raquel.
there's so many girls in the world.
I know. And you
That's
know
how I
what?
felt with Raquel and Swartz. I was like, okay, Swartz, like, what up? You know, you're single, you want to hook up with someone, but I'm like, there's so many cute girls that would be all for you. Why are you going after someone on the cast?
No, and I'm so upset with Sandoval. I feel like Tyra Bank right now. Like we were rooting for you. We were rooting for you. How dare you? You know that moment
Right?
with yeah. That's how I feel like saying to his face. Like I was really, really kind of like rooting for Sandoval and Ariana to go all the way, to go
Me
to,
too.
and it's sad that, it seems like he was willing just to like jeopardize his relationship with her to go after Raquel or, play along with whatever she's trying to do. So it's really embarrassing and it's sad. And like, I don't know if you read what, Ariana's brother posted, but it's
Yes, I
true.
was just going to bring that up.
It does feel like this guy is having a middle age um crisis, um and just Raquel is trying to like fake her way up to on the show. I mean, it's true. I mean, it's sad but true.
Right? Oh my gosh, I know. He was making fun of Tom's cover band, saying that what was it, washed up, and then yeah, talking about Raquel being a fangirl. I mean, that's how whenever the news broke, I was like, "Is this real?" And I sent it in like my Bravo chat of my friends I went to BravoCon with, and my friend Olivia was like, "I don't think it's real." And then I was like, Ariana's brother commented, and Logan, her friend, commented, and Olivia has met Logan before too, and we were like, "It's real." Like when as soon as you saw Ariana's brother comment, it was like, "Oh, this is real,
I
you guys."
got I got news. I got news for you.
What?
So we can kind of like speculate. James Kennedy sent a message to Desmois on their DMs, and he said like, "Oh, it gets darker. It's been happening for 7 months. Fucking in the
7?
house 7 months. So we can calculate. In the house is it said 7 months. Fucking in the house while Ariana's sleeping.
While she's sleeping?
Garbage.
Wait,
Garbage.
why does James know all of this though?
He probably found out. The Kennedy is happy that there. I
Yeah.
feel like Kennedy in deep inside he's rejoiced. He's like enjoying the moment because a lot of people put the blame on him and trying to make him look like he was like the bad person or
Yeah.
whatever. And then he's like, yeah, I was not the villain that people were trying to paint me to be. Look at this guy and look at this girl who were just playing the game. 7 months. That is BravoCon.
BravoCon. Yeah.
October, November,
Yeah.
December, January, February, March happened before BravoCon.
Before BravoCon. So they were
Is
definitely
that
together at BravoCon. Well,
and
and
it
it's
makes
weird
sense
too
now.
because I think at the Watch What Happens live that was filmed at BravoCon, I feel like Sandoval said something like nice about Raquel. He said something like, "Oh, we get to see who Raquel is this season. She's not just James' girlfriend. I think you're gonna like her or something." And I was like, "What? That was so weird that he stuck up for her like that." And now I'm like,
I'm in
maybe they
shock.
And remember there was rumors because Ariana and Tom didn't sit next to each other at the one Watch What Happens
Yes.
Live with the Southern Charm people and all that. And they were like, "No, we're fine. We see each other all the time." But I'm like, I mean, I don't Raquel wasn't at any of the after parties we went to.
She was at the
Oh, she was
rooftop
at the
party,
rooftop? I
but
mean,
I
she's so
think
unrememberable.
yeah, exactly. She was she was just the Bambi I bitch walking around and nobody noticed. She was
Yeah.
there. I think she even posted a photo. I think if you go back to her Instagram right on the time of BravoCon, she was there. I don't think she was there for a long time, but she was there. And I remember the Toms were living together at one point. So I'm just wondering, like, were they in cahoot and all this stuff? This is so
I
weird.
feel like I mean, Tom and Tom know everything. Swartz clearly knew Sandoval and Raquel were hooking up. And
Yeah.
I feel like how Raquel posted that photo with Schwartz the other day and was like, just because, I feel like that was just like her trying to like cover it up even more. Cause I'm like, okay, they're not a couple. Why is she posting this photo just to like piss off Katie? But now I'm like, it's probably to cover her ass more.
Yeah, and uh just I don't
Wait,
know
and
if you guys
remember
have
Tom dressed up as Raquel for Halloween?
Halloween,
Oh
exactly.
my God. So they were hooking up then.
This is getting so messy.
I
And
know.
you know what's really crazy? I we just got the news that some of the cast members for Winter House, they're gonna start filming in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in a couple of weeks. I think it's the next week on two, and the Toms, both of them are supposed to be going to either make an appearance or be an actual part of the cast. And I'm like, I don't want them to go now. I don't want them to
I
ruin
know.
Winter House. If I want people to go from Vanderpump Rules, send the girls, send Lala,
Yes.
send Ariana, send Katie. They deserve to go. They're single now, and go and mingle with the hack guys of Winter House.
Yes, like
Don't send the
bring
Toms.
Andrea, bring him on, bring Luke on.
Yeah. If
Like
anything,
there's not
send
enough
them. So
boys in Summer House right now. They need more boys for Winter House.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh
I was thinking
God.
the same thing actually. I was like, oh hey, I know they just announced that like yesterday or a few days ago that the Toms were gonna be on Winter House. And I was thinking that too. I was like, ooh, can they not have them go now? Or at least
Yeah,
not
no.
have like Sandoval go. But if Swartz is actually dating that Joe girl, don't have him go either.
Yeah, send the
I
girls
mean,
so
but
they can have a
Bravo
good
loves to
time.
be messy. So, like, are they gonna have like be messy and the Toms are hooking up with some other girls?
God.
I
This
know.
is
I'm
this
just
is a
like,
hot mess.
ugh, it's crazy. I
And
know.
it's
And I saw like that below deck people are going on Winter House. I was
I'm
excited
not
about
that
that.
ex- I'm
You're
not
not?
I'm not not excited at all.
Why not?
Just because I don't watch the boat show. It's the only show on Bravo that I
Oh,
do not watch. The only time, and I know people are gonna be like, "How dare you not to watch Below Deck? You're supposed to be a Bravo content creator." I know. I apologize to those who love the boat show. The only time that I
the boat
watched,
show.
the only time that watched Below Deck was when Kate Chastain was on it.
I know. To be honest, I have not watched the last few seasons either. When they put out the Winter House thing, I was like, who are those two people at the bottom?
Yeah,
But I'm excited they're mixing it up because I'm so over like the like
they're the
Southern
same.
Charm boys
Yeah,
being there. Yeah. Like we don't
I
need you there, Austin. Bye.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but I know they need more like men on though, or I don't know. And I think I was like excited too because the below deck people are kind of more like normal. So
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not like so like feeding into the drama like some of these other shows. So I was like, oh, we'll give an interesting dynamic. But
I wish they picked some of the people from Southern
me
Hospitality
too.
though.
But is it because they're gonna start filming again soon?
That's what I'm hoping. I'm
Me too.
hoping that the reason why they're not, because they do have great personalities. We met them. They have TV quality.
Oh my god,
Like
bring
they
Mia, Joe Bradley,
I know.
TJ.
Send them to the winter house. They're amazing for it. And but I'm hoping and I'm praying to God that the reason why that they not been sent this time to the winter house is because they're going to be filming for their show, for a second
I think
season.
so too. Like even if they're not filming when Winter House is filming, I think they just don't want things to like happen at
Yeah,
Winter House that is going to disrupt the second season filming.
yeah, I agree.
Like yeah, so especially cuz when we were there, like you guys talked about that in the recap, like we saw drama happen.
Oh,
Like there's drama for that show. They could
Ooh.
have been filming that night.
I was. That's what I said. I think I need Andy and a camera. We saw what
Right?
happened, and I was shocked. I don't want to share what happened. We don't want to talk about it because that's somebody else's business. That is somebody else's place of work. We're not talking
Mhm.
about it. But it was messy, and if there was a camera present, that would have been TV gold.
It would have been on the
But
show for sure.
oh, for
I mean, I
sure.
don't even know how it all happened. We just looked over and something was happening.
Yeah, some crazy
So,
thing was happening.
yeah, like we don't even know the backstory of it, but we're like fans. So we're like, what is going on?
Yeah, and I didn't want to be that person like recording the whole mess to post it later like on Twitter. No, we're not
I
that trashy.
know.
We're not that desperate.
No. And
I'm a
honestly, I
con.
don't even think we thought of it.
Yeah, no.
Like, I feel like we're not that desperate. And I feel like afterwards we were like, oh, too bad we didn't film it. But in the minute, we like, we're not even thinking of it.
Yeah, no.
It
We
just
were
all
not.
happened so quickly. And then we saw like, characters in the show and then made eye contact with other ones. And I feel like they were like, are people watching this right now?
Oh, I
Like,
love that.
but I mean, I think they're definitely getting a season 2. I mean, I know it
Yeah,
hasn't been announced yet, but they've got nominated for
a
so
glad.
many. Yeah, they got a GLAD award, right? And then the Watch What Crappens like new show.
Yeah.
So Bravo would be silly not to pick it up for a second season.
Agree. I think they're definitely gonna give them a second season, and I think at this point, especially with the way that people are more aware of the show, people are gonna be tuning in more because the show was going up on the ratings. Like it started with like it was a very slow start, but as like midway through the season, people kind of caught up with the show and started to like really tuning in. So I do believe the show has the chance to be one of those multi-season shows. I do have faith on this cast. I said it from the beginning when I first started watching it. When I first watched the first episode, when people were saying this show is going nowhere, I was one of the few who said like this cast is TV gold.
No, it is. And I like that they actually work there. I feel like that's like what was so good with the Vanderpump in the beginning too, is they actually worked there. So if you are a fan of the show, you can go there and you can see them. And it
Yeah,
just doesn't seem like so like scripted then. Or like not even scripted, but like fake. Like are these people
trying
actually
hard.
friends? Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, they work there. We saw them all. One of my friends was just there last night and she said that TJ served her a drink and that she saw Brad at the salsa dancing. So I'm like, they all work there. So I mean, and I know you were talking about Vanderpump too, like how it was like so relatable. And I think so too. Like when the show started, I like worked at a bar in Chicago as like a second job, and that shit happened. Like people were hooking up with like the bosses, the bar owners, each other. And it's just like, and I was thinking too, like, some people on Vanderpump Rules, like it's been on 10 seasons, have outlasted like a lot of the housewives.
Yes,
Like there's
yes.
only a handful of housewives that have been on that long. So of
Yep.
course we're like invested because it's like we've literally been growing up with them. Like,
Like we see them go from being just waiters and waitresses and bartenders to be business owners, being married, have kids, going through divorce, going through scandals like Lala and Ronda. Like those are the type of scandals you
mhm,
see on a housewife show, not the
exactly.
kids and the waiters and the waitresses, So that's why, like I said, Vanderpump Rules was that show that I personally love. And Southern hospitality is having the same effect on me too, especially after meeting them in person. When
Yes, of course.
that weekend, meeting them, like hanging out with them, um, you know, chatting, DMing like every day, like for hours a day. I mean, there was a connection that I appreciate and I know is genuine, and that it's what makes great reality TV. How genuine the connections are.
Right? I agree. Like, I feel like you when you meet them, like you were talking about the BravoCon, like meeting Candace, and you're like, "Oh, I loved her." And that's how I feel too when I met her. Both her and Chris. I was like, "Oh my God, they were so nice." Like that it's like you have this perception of someone on the show, but then when you meet them, it's like sometimes that perception's right and you're like, "Oh, like Vicky was a bitch to us." And I wanted to like her because I've been like an OG, like, watched OC since season one. But I mean, people have said she hasn't been that friendly to them, and she wasn't that friendly to me and my friends either.
I mean, yeah, I mean, so Vicky was like
She was
the
like the
like
only one that was a little bit rude. Like when we were at the hotel, everyone was being like so nice, taking photos. Not at the rooftop party, but when we just saw them. And then
at the
Vicky's like
lobby.
son, Mike, was talking to us and like literally like sat at the table next to us. And he's all like, "Oh, I was like, oh, we're from Chicago." And he's like, "Oh yeah, Brianna lives there now." Like, and then his friend, like he ran into his friend on the street that he like knew from Hawaii. And they were like, ran into each other in Times Square. So his friend came. And so then Vicky comes down and then she's being like nice at first. But then she's like, "I haven't seen my son in days. So he might have been talking to you girls, but I need to talk to him now." Or something like that. And then like turned her chair like away from our table. And I just
Oh,
was all like, "Oh." I was like, "I understand." And then she was like, "Oh, but I love that you guys are from Chicago." Like knew that she came off a bitch. Like Mike was even like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "No, it's fine." But like he literally sat with us and was like talking to us. He's like, "Oh, is this table free next to you guys? Can I take it?" And then she was just like typical Vicky, probably like how, other housewives have said that too, that she's not very nice. And I was like, yeah, she wasn't. Everyone else was so nice. She could have just been like, "Oh, hey, I haven't seen my son." But it was the way she said it too.
yeah. Oh
Like,
well.
I was like, whatever. But I was all like, "Oh, I wanted to meet her." And then I was like, okay, well,
Oh my
sorry
gosh.
about that.
I think there was only like one really bad encounter with a
Who?
Bravo Lab. Uh, mm.
I just said mine, but it's okay.
No, okay. It
I
was at
was
the
like,
rooftop party.
Vicky's gonna come after me.
It was at the rooftop party, and everybody was being so gracious and stuff. And then Teddy,
Oh yes, Teddy. Well, Teddy was nice to me and
no,
my
she
friends,
I
but
think she recognized who I was, and
yeah,
she's
because you
been
guys
on my he's been on my tweets
Twitter.
several times, and we have Twitter wars
John
a
Mellencamp's
lot.
daughter.
John Mellencamp's daughter, and she gave me this look, like up and down look, kind of like when you recognize somebody, so you're trying to look if they're truly is that it truly that person. And we passed by next to it, and I gave her the look too. Like obviously, I can sense the energy
Okay,
coming on
Jackie,
my
you
way.
giving Danielle that look for those day old laundry shorts?
No, she gave me the laundry short look. That John Mellencamp daughter, she gave me that look, the up and down look, and I gave it back to her. I'm like, no, bitch, you're not gonna read me. I'm gonna read you back because you're not that important. You're not. You shouldn't even be here in the first place because you pretty much made your way into this BravoCon as a talent by being on a Project Runway walk off, which by
Which
the
made no
way,
sense.
no sense. Like that was the only thing that she was doing at
And
BravoCon
Andy
for
didn't
her.
even know that. Andy was like,
Yes.
"Oh, it's Teddy's here. Oh, for your podcast." And then she's like, "No, I'm on a panel." And he's like,
Like
"What?
what?
Like, did you have to pay to get on that panel, Teddy?" I know.
Exactly.
She was nothing but nice to me and my friend. She took a picture with us, but I was just like, okay, I am wondering, did she have to pay? Like why? And out of all the panels, why'd they put her on that one? Like
Because I
she
mean,
was the worst dressed.
she walks like a horse and dressed horribly, so it makes no sense. So there has to be some payola happening behind the scenes because that didn't
Right?
make any sense.
They could have like at least had her do one of those interviews, like sitting at the chairs, but I guess they didn't even
Yeah.
want her to do that or something. But I was like, what? And maybe at first when I saw she was on it, I was like, oh, is it going to be a joke? But I'm like, no, everyone else they had were like fashionistas, like
Yeah.
Dorit, Bali, and
Bali.
they had Chanel Ion. I was like, yeah, they actually Paige. I was like, everyone else on the panel made sense, but not Teddy. I'm like, And I think even like someone said she was like the worst dressed on it. Didn't like Dorit say that or something?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. So she deserves. Yeah, she probably like was like, "Why are you here?" And you could have said that back to her. Why are you here?
Yeah. Anyways,
Oh my
Lawrence, thank
gosh.
you so much for coming on
Oh my
tonight.
god, it was so fun.
I
Yes,
know
you'll
we
have to do
gotta.
a Miami recap another day, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the Miami recap tonight. I'm most likely gonna end up doing a kind of like a back to back next week when the reunion starts, so we can kind of like I'm gonna start with this last episode so I can explain what happened and talk about the reunion too. I mean, the conversation about Miami is basically going to be the last few interactions because are vital for what is going to be talked about during the reunion. So that's pretty much it. But it's a great way to end the season. My opinion on Miami is the Miami was by far the best franchise this year so far.
Yes,
It
and it's on
gave
Peacock. Bring it to
it's on
Bravo,
Peacock. No,
right?
no, no! Don't bring it to Bravo
True,
because
it might get bad. I like it being on Peacock, actually. Yes.
because Peacock is putting all their coins on it. Bravo has many other franchise to worry about, so let it stay on Peacock. Peacock is doing a great way uh, to keep these shows moving. So far, let them there. But next week, you guys that are listening, I know I promised a Miami recap tonight, but I think with this whole Vanderpump situation, we definitely had to go in depth with it, and the news were coming out as we were talking. Like literally, as we were talking, I was looking at my phone because something new will pop up. Somebody else will chime in. If you go now to every single Vanderpump cast member, there is a messy comment on their story or something. Lala has gone on Instagram on live and said everything she needs to say. James has it's been asking fans that are going to the Tom's and Most Extras to bring tomatoes and cabbage and start throwing it at Tom. I mean, they are going at it, and it's developing by the minute. So obviously we wanted to cover that as much as we could, and that's why this past hour and a half was basically talking about what happened tonight, and we talked about a little bit of what happened this last episode because somehow it kind of reflects on what's happening right now, which is Raquel making her way through every single cast member on the show to stay on the show. So
And the Oliver thing hasn't even happened yet.
it's happening this upcoming week, so we will talk about it
Oh my
again, I guess.
god.
So
Oh,
thank you so much, everybody who listened tonight. If you love this podcast, I always ask people to rate the podcast. That's the way that we podcasters survive and our podcast thrive. Also, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, Martina with Eddie. Lauren, anything you want to plug while we are here?
thank you for having me. It was so much fun. And yes, follow Eddie because he gives all the Bravo tea. Like you don't even need to follow the other Bravo accounts because he's on top of it.
Do you have anything to plug yourself?
You can follow my store, the Colette Collection.
There you go.
So you can follow on Instagram, _Colette, COLETTE collection. And we have cute clothing, new arrivals every week. So not a Bravo Instagram, but cute clothes.
That's right. And you need cute clothes for any Bravo event. If you're going to BravoCon, you can go and shop at Colette Collection and you're going to be ready for BravoCon. Um,
Yes. I got lots
Lauren,
of compliments on the top that I wore with the feathers on it. Yes.
that's right.
And then a bird pooped on that shirt on my walk into the Java Center. But I think it was my good luck because then we went to the rooftop party that night.
That's right.
Everyone says it's good luck. And I was so mad. I had to like run to the bathroom. I was like, should I go to the hotel and change? And then I was like, well, I think it was a good sign because then I got to go to the rooftop party and meet so many Bravo celebrities.
Celebs. That's right. So,
Oh, thanks, Terry. Yes, that's my middle name, Colette. So definitely give it a follow.
Yes. So, like I said before, you guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with more guests, more tea, more recaps. Sunday night is the last episode of Potomac. On Monday, we have Summer House, so I will be doing a recap on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday I'll be doing a recap of. On Thursday I'll be doing a recap of New Jersey, Vanderpumps, and Miami. So we have plenty tea to talk about next week. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. And like I always say at the end of the show, here we go. Lauren, you know what I say at the end of the show? No? Says, bye, besties.
Yes. Well, I'm always waiting for you to say hello, besties, in the beginning. Bye.